Welcome back to another episode of The Funny Please.
Yay!
Yes, we are here on season 2. As you can see, the layout's a little bit different. It was too hard for me to clean my entire apartment every podcast. And so now we only have to clean a very small section and everything else is... I mean, it's not that messy. It's just, I'd say my makeup area is always a construction zone. Like,
it's where we're building.
Yeah, I'm so happy to introduce my guest today. We met at Fashion Week auditions earlier this year. I think it was it for Summer Fashion Week?
I don't even remember.
I think it was April because, well, there's 2 fashion weeks every year, but there's really 4 because there's 4 seasons. I think it was like the off-season one.
It was an off-season one,
yeah,
for sure.
So it was the like pre-summer, which is really, is it pre-winter? I don't know. Oh, you're the expert here. We met at an audition and we booked that show together, and we're also a stylist favorite. They like to pair us together because we both have a similar look. We're similar heights, like similar body shapes and sizes, and I don't know. It's like
my pretty evil twin.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, now we're buddies, and I'm so glad to like finally connect with you. And yeah, thanks for coming. And so yeah, did I say your name, Jack Mayer?
No,
if I didn't say it,
hi everybody.
This is Jack Mayer.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here and to like be a part of your podcast. I've only heard about it in passing, and I didn't know how much of like a production it was. So this is so exciting.
No. I mean, mostly people just see like the video and like a microphone, but like there's also a bunch of wires involved. And right now I have a sheep head on my wall, and there's a ring light dangling from a wire. That's
Oh my God, there is.
yeah,
That's so funny.
It's
Wait, I'm gonna take a video.
Yeah, we'll have to add this over it. But yeah, so every podcast has a theme. This podcast is the first I've done in like 7 months. I've been kind of on vacation or traveling the world, or I call it my early retirement trip I've taken this year. And also like, hey, I'm trans and I'm traveling post-pandemic, and hey, like, I'm not sure what's going to happen with trans passports the next few years. So like I had like a whole like, oh, say yes to everything, like any trip that comes about, including a last-minute 2-week trip to Albania Music Festival with my friends. I didn't know.
What?
Yeah, Albania is a country.
I know.
Yeah, well, I'm from Texas, so people like that.
I'm from Texas. Wait, you're from Texas?
Wait, we're both from.
What?
Maybe this is why we get along.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think we've had this conversation yet. But
No.
I'm from Dallas. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Houston.
Houston. Okay, my stepsister lives there. I've been to the rodeo. Yeah. So.
Wait, you're also yeehaw? That's so amazing.
Yeah, yeehaw. I say y'all still to this day.
Same.
I don't have an accent of any. I don't have a horse. But you actually wear your boots here, and
I did.
And that's how Texan I am. I just assume that's normal. So like, I think other people notice, and I literally just noticed now. But yeah, like when I go to Burning Man, I wear cowboy boots the entire time because that's like. You're like on like a non-paved soil, and you're just walking about everywhere. Like that's what's natural.
Yeah, you really need to keep your feet like covered there, or else you'll get like, what is it? Like playa foot?
Playa.
Yeah, what is that?
But I do recommend taking your shoes off at some point. Which the best part to take your shoes off is when your other clothes are already off. And
yes, exactly.
And that is when they burn the man. They have a whole perimeter around the man when they burn it, because one time someone ran into the fire and died. Like they killed themselves, or they were really high on whatever they were on and just were like, oh my God, I'm going to go save that person who's on fire, which is an effigy. It's not a real person. Anyway, someone died, and so now they have all these, they have a really big perimeter with temple guards guarding it, and really close to the fire, they have these like, they have cowboys. So cowboys with lassos, and they will lasso you if you try to run into the fire, and they will pull you out of the fire.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore.
I kind of want to just try to run into the fire.
You want to test it, put it to the test, to be
like,
oh, like, are you gonna... Are nerves are you gonna be able to lasso me in front of all these people? And if you don't, like, you suck at your job.
No,
that you're not
I'm
gonna
definitely jog slowly so I can get lassoed.
Yeah,
you know, I want them to catch me.
They might also ban you for life. So yeah, don't want to do that. If you're listening at home, don't test the lasso people at Burning Man. You might get banned for life.
Don't get banned for life from Burning Man.
Yeah,
Don't
and
try
they
to
do
kill
ban
yourself.
people for life. They do. If you try to sneak in, you get banned for life. If you try to sell a ticket for more than a ticket costs, banned for
scalping?
life. Yeah, scalping.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to get banned.
I had a friend that used to sneak in all the time because she's so tiny. She would just fit into a cooler and just right in.
They inspect for that, but the thing is now, like if you get caught, like not only will they get banned for life, that the people that are transporting you get banned for life.
Wow.
So yeah, just pay and go like a normal person. You can also like volunteer there and get like
fair
discounted stuff. And anyway, but what were we talking about? Dying in the fire,
lassos.
Oh yeah, I was
boots.
gonna say the best time to be barefoot at Burning Man is when you're naked. And so they have this whole fire perimeter. The man's on fire, and then at some point the perimeter gets broken, and people just start running in towards the fire. It's usually after everything has kind of fallen, like collapsed, so that it can't fall on people.
Okay.
And then the temple guards. I actually saw the perimeter break this year. And so they have all the guards standing around. You can't come within the circle. And then all of a sudden you hear a roar of people just yelling, and you see thousands of naked people just running towards the man on fire. And then they run counterclockwise, all naked. It gets very tribal, and they run because it's very hot next to it's like the hottest fire you've ever experienced. They have pyrotechnics. There's like gasoline. Like there's a lot of stuff burning. And it gets kind of tribal, and I don't know, I definitely recommend it. A lot of people don't even know that this happens because there's so many things going on at Burning Man. It took me like 3 years before I even knew that happened at Burning Man. And so this year, like my job was to help get participation up in my camp, let people know. So because it happens like an hour or two after the man is like burnt. So like, yeah, you have to like go recruit people, be like, hey, like there's still something going on. And there's times to be had, but I went barefoot during that, and it was the best time to go barefoot because then you just like feel connected to the ground. And by like day 9, your like pointy cowboy boots are starting to hurt your toes too.
Yeah, fair. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've only been to Burning Man once, but it was when it was illegal to be there. I went to the 2021
the Renegade.
Burn. Yes, the Renegade Burn.
I love that. I'm so sad. I've camped with like very organized groups of gays, and like that wasn't even like up for discussion if people were going. And so I'm sad that they didn't go, but I was also suing the government at that time. I was suing the police, and so my lawyer was like, hey, don't do anything that's gonna get you like arrested again. Like
again.
Because so I was like being very cautious not to like do anything like speed or beyond speed. All things speed related.
No speed. you were staying stagnant.
Just the slowest person in the world.
You were slow. Yes.
Anyway, so we have a topic every episode. Last season, or my first season, our number one episode, this is really funny. Our number one episode that has gotten the most views on YouTube was about circumcision. Yeah.
Okay. I would be interested in that.
Yeah.
Too. I would click on it.
I mean, there's a lot of debate because we got into like the whole religious point of that. And like, I got into like the consensual part. Like, I know this is your religion, but like it's someone else's body. I don't know. So it's kind of pushing stuff with that. But a lot of people had a lot of things to say online. And I guess apparently we have listeners in other countries because people would comment like, oh, like it's so weird you're having this conversation because where I live, no one is circumcised. And I was like, wait, whoa.
Yeah, I know a lot of European countries, they don't do that.
Yeah. So people outside the great US of A have somehow found this podcast online and or typed in the word circumcision and stumbled across.
Perfect. I love the keywords. Love the SEO.
But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about Fashion Week because that's how we met. And just the topic should be like getting into modeling or like people that are model curious, like maybe want to become a model, how they can do that. Because I feel like I'm talking to an expert. So this Fashion Week, which was a couple of weeks ago, you walked in 17 shows.
Yes.
Right? 17. And that's a lot to do. So Fashion Week is mainly one weekend.
Well, technically 9 shows, 17 designers.
17 designers.
Yes.
But that might be like 2 designers in one show. So you're like having to swap outfits in the middle and do all the fast changing stuff. It's not like Victoria's Secret where they just take your wings off and change your thong. Right?
Yeah.
Unless maybe, I don't know. Did you walk for any lingerie brands or?
No. I did a swimwear brand, but that's it.
Yeah. And when we met the first time around earlier this summer, we both got thrown into surprise swimwear.
Oh yeah.
Which for me it was my first time modeling, and I was really happy. My first time around, I got to wear this 50-pound avant-garde, like
it was sickening.
It was like the show closer
so cool.
dress, and I think you were fighting me for it, but somehow I got it.
No, I wasn't fighting.
You were fighting me for it.
No,
you're like,
I wasn't.
I want that one. I was like, actually, I want that one. I think it was like the size of the shoe was a very specific size.
Yeah, no, I
what
said,
shoe
wow,
size are you?
I was like, wow, that's a cool dress. And then I don't ever try to command a designer. I would never fight over what
I'm
they
pretty
want.
sure it was a Cinderella story. Like he's like, hey, the matching shoe for this dress is your size. So I was like, aha, I get the cool dress. Anyway.
Yeah, I think he was like, you should wear this to me. And then he was like, oh, your feet are too small. And then he was like, your feet are perfect. You should wear this
My feet are
dress.
perfect. I'm a size 9. Just
but
so you
for
guys
me
know.
personally, I would never try to dictate what a designer wants. That's up to them. You know, if they want to do something, I'm all for it. I'm like, sure, whatever you want. Like I would walk with like a cracked egg on my head. Like I don't care.
Wait, I love that.
Yeah, it's like you have to be as professional as possible, and as a model, you have to be willing to do almost anything. Like walk with your boobs out, walk with like a snake on you, like walk with anything.
Have you walked with a snake on you, like a real one?
Personally, no. But
okay. Brittany reference for all the gays listening. Yes.
For example, yes.
She is our #1 model.
And I think you looked absolutely stunning, and I was very happy for you. I thought you looked beautiful because that was your first walk, right?
Yeah, that was my first walk. And then also that show, we were saying we had the surprise swimsuit. So I was like my first time modeling. And then also I'm a trans person. And so they're like, hey, surprise, you're also walking for a swimsuit designer last minute.
And this tiny little spaghetti strap bikini.
Yeah, and the designer didn't know I was trans too. And I don't tuck. Like a lot of trans people tuck, and I get shit for not tucking, but like I'm like proud of my body. Like I used to like want to change everything when I first transitioned just so I could fit in and like fit into a cookie mold of a person. But now I'm like proud about it.
I love that.
Yeah, and and actually going back to Burning Man, that Burning
this all
Man,
comes back to Burning Man.
Yeah, no,
just over and over again.
Really like being naked there is like the first place that got me to feel comfortable in my skin.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it's like you see all shapes. You're only naked on like certain days and times, but like you see all types of bodies there, and everyone's just like very like validating, and then you're with all your friends too, and they're all naked. So
wait, that's so beautiful, Ashley.
Yeah,
you got to like live your authentic self like in a group setting.
Yeah, I also was with a really like safe group of people, the Glam Cocks, who I don't camp with anymore, but I'm still very much involved in every day.
I really want to know more about the Glam Cocks, but we can talk about fashion.
Yeah, the Glam Cocks.
What do you mean you're with them every day? What are you talking about?
Oh, like my best friends in New York are like all members of the Glam Cock Burning Man camp for the most part. At least half of my friends. Like my I'd say more sparkly and like open-minded inclusivity friends they're part of the camp, and the ones that are a little bit too high maintenance to function, like outside of New York, are the non-Burning Man friends. So
fair.
But yeah, gay guys can still make Burning Man happen.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, you walked for 17 designers. Is that the most you've ever walked?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it was like pretty spread out. Like I'd have 4 designers in one show, and then like 1 designer in the evening. Things like that. So it was actually not as grueling as other shows I've been a part of. I think one of the most professional shows I've been a part of was in Silicon Valley. It's called Silicon Valley Fashion Week, and they had like 9 designers.
Right.
So I had to walk for all of them. So I was constantly running into the back room, changing as quickly as possible, running back out, walking, running back, grabbing the next pair of shoes. I had to like line up all of my shoes in a row in an area where no girls would be like walking. And I had to like report to the glam squad as quickly as possible after I was like fitted into the next thing. And I had to make sure the clothes didn't touch the ground, because that's very rude to any designer. You can never throw their clothes anywhere on the ground. So I would like, have to throw it onto like a random rack, run, grab the clothes. I was running naked in the back pretty much.
Yeah, and I think what you're reminding me of right now, like that people don't think of, because like I've had it on my bucket list like since I was a kid, like watching America's Next Top Model. Like, oh my God, like not only do I want to be a girl one day, but I would love to like walk the runway one day. And like it's always been a dream of mine. I like when you realize your dream and it happens to you, like, oh my God, runway modeling is it can be so chaotic and so much anxiety and so much stress behind the scenes.
Yes.
You know, there's one thing like walking around like in your room, like parading, like practicing your walk. But when you're on the runway raised up, maybe you've never even seen the runway before. You don't know the shape of the room or you know, any obstacles there might be on it. And then you get to the end and it's all the cameras and you're like, suddenly you're thinking about like, oh, like how you're walking. You're like, oh, one foot in front of the other. Why is this suddenly hard? Like you never think about your walk before. It's like a lot of anxiety. At least for me, it was.
Oh yeah. Like soul crushing amounts of anxiety.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, this is a dream, but oh my God, this is kind of overwhelming at the same time. I definitely felt that my first show, I think just also too, because I'm a little bit older, I'm not in my 20s. I feel like a lot of the models are so young. They're like 18 in their 20s. Like,
yeah, to be signed to like a renowned agency, you have to be very young.
Yeah. Which makes it hard for like a lot of trans people. Well, I guess people are transitioning younger now, but like, I don't know, for me, I transitioned at 25. So
oh my God, really?
Yeah, it took me like years to get to like where I am. And like then when I transitioned, it was like 3 years of surgeries. Like I got one like every year until like I was happy with where I was. And
wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, part of that was like financial, but also part of it was I knew this one person that had like a lot of plastic surgery, and they weren't trans. They just like wanted to, they had money and they wanted to change themselves. But then like people like were introducing themselves to them because they didn't know, like they had so much plastic surgery, they didn't look like the same person. Like Face ID was like,
oh my God.
Like, yeah. And I was like, wait, I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want people to not recognize me. And I don't want to like look in the mirror and not recognize myself. And so I went like very conservative when it comes to like, I don't want to completely change my look. And I let my doctor know, and I went to the doctor too. That was like he could do both. He could do like really crazy and chaotic, and like I want my eyebrows up here type thing.
Oh, I want my eyebrows. I want that. I want them all the way in my forehead. Yes.
No, your eyebrows are perfect where they are. See, so I had low brows before, which mine are still pretty low. I did have a brow lift, and
it looks amazing.
Yeah, mine were very low before. It used to be so hard to do eyeshadow because there was just nowhere to put it.
Yeah, I feel you.
And so now they're in the perfect spot, and I do get Botox, which lifts it. If you tell them to, they can make it so it like lifts up your brows, and so I get mine quarterly, and I mean, the week after I get it, I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my God, they're back up, and I love it. It's so exciting.
Right?
So you know you're getting what you pay for. But
yeah, I used to get Botox every like 3 months, just to like prevent wrinkling. You know?
Yeah.
Like I just don't want wrinkles. I don't want them in my forehead ever. So I atrophied most of them now. I've like done so much Botox though that I have a little bit of like resistance to it.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, you can build up resistance over time.
Oh shit.
Damn. But I like how my wrinkles are setting in now, because like once you do Botox long enough, your curtain muscles like start to form the wrinkles up here on the sides, and then you'll get like cute ones that go like this, like little smiles, instead of like directly straight across your forehead, you know?
So no, I don't know, because everything you're saying to me right now has never been said, because I get my Botox quarterly at a Botox party in Hell's Kitchen that has over 100 gays at it. Yeah.
come?
So it's like a
Can I
drink, let's get fucked up and let's get Botox party.
What?
Yeah. So you go in like the bedroom and you lie down on my friend's bed, and I always tell him, I'm like, oh, I'm not here to get Botox. I pay to lay down in your bed. Like,
Is it like really cozy?
No, he's a cutie. He's a cutie. He knows
Oh,
who he
he's
is.
just hot.
But
Got it.
But yeah, then it's like a little bit discounted too, because it's like, not in the office.
Fuck yeah.
But,
I'm coming.
It is a real doctor. It's
I
not
don't
just
care.
like my
I'm
friend.
coming.
Yeah.
You're inviting me. I'm
Absolutely
going.
come.
What?
Yeah, and if you do come, say my name, Ashley Ryan sent you, then I think I get like $1 off or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
absolutely. You're kidding? Yes.
$1 off a unit, maybe. I don't even know how much it is, but I know how much I pay every time. But yeah, they actually do. They keep a little graph of like, or like a chart of like your name and then how many units you got last time. So like, because it's hard for them to keep track of that many
I'm
people.
sure.
So that they know who I am and they like know exactly what to give me every time. So
I love this like back room Botox scenario. Like I'm so intrigued. Like I need to go and see this for myself because that sounds crazy.
yeah, well, it's not like a back. It's like my friend's apartment. That's like in the basement of a brownstone.
I love that.
Yeah.
I wish I lived in a brownstone. Like I'm surrounded by them, but I'm just in a regular apartment and it makes me so upset.
I don't think I could ever live in a brownstone because I love having a view and I love light. And I feel like it's hard to get like enough daylight unless you just have like really nice skylights or something.
Yeah.
There's so many tall buildings in New York that sometimes they don't get enough light. I don't know.
Yours is so cute. Like I love
That's because I have south
this.
facing. I specifically was only looking at units that are south facing because now that like we're in this time of the year, the sun is always behind you. So I actually have to like use aircon more during fall than I do in summer because in summer the sun's like directly over, but then in the fall it's just like shining into my apartment all day. I can literally lie in bed and get a tan.
Oh no.
Which I don't know if that's actually true because I think there's like UV protection on the windows, but you could definitely lie in the sun and get warmed up in my bed. So.
I love that. I feel like the last thing you need for your New York moment is like a tiny dog.
A tiny dog.
You know?
I travel too much.
Mm-hmm.
And also I'm not a tiny dog person.
Oh, I am.
I am
one.
a big fucking dog person. During the pandemic, I had like a full-on mental breakdown when my house got broken into, and I discovered it was someone who I didn't know who they were on my street that lived 4 houses down, and the police like didn't arrest them, and it took a minute for them to raid the house, but like within like I would say I think within 24 or 48 hours of my house getting broken into, I got on the Nextdoor app just to like post about it. And someone was like, oh my God, the owner of this store died and he has 2 Great Danes. We need someone to take them in. I was like, me.
Immediately me.
And so I had like 2 Great Dane security dogs, basically, like impromptu. My parents were like, actually, my dad had to fly out. I was having like that much of a mental breakdown. But then just being like a dog mom, like I was working. They were a full-time job. Oh my God, 2 Great Danes.
Yeah, those are humans.
They're humans. Yeah. Their poop was definitely human. Like, oh my God, like it was insane. But they made me feel safe and they loved me and they were very intelligent.
Well, I'm glad they made you feel safe and you had companions like that, you know?
Yeah. And then I was able to rehome them when I moved. I eventually had to sell my house because it was like traumatic. It was like a lot of drama. But because of it, I'm here in New York. We sold the house at the right time, my best friend and I. Because of the break-in, and if we were to try to sell it now, we wouldn't even be able to get like half of what we got for it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's the reason I'm in New York and can afford to be here.
Okay, you were in where were you before?
I was born in Dallas, but I was living in Palm Springs during the pandemic. I lived in LA, and people like fled the city during the pandemic because everything was shut down in California. And so people were like, let's go to Palm Springs and just be on vacation. And it was a little more open there. They moved their gym equipment outside, which was actually beautiful because in Palm Springs, like you have like the mountains.
Oh my God.
And yeah, so you're just like working out in like a parking lot next to this beautiful mountain in the sunshine. And so if you'd go like right around this time, right around sunset, it would be packed because it's too hot during the day to work out. But it was just like a beautiful like sunset workout and outsideness. So anyway, that was a highlight. We're getting way off track.
We are so off track.
Okay, this is how you become a runway model. How long ago did you start modeling?
Well, I was trained as a kid.
Okay.
When I was 12 years old, my parents sent me to like an agency boot camp to help me learn how to like be a lady or something. So I learned like the tips on how
Houston?
to.
Was it a pageant or?
No, it was the Neil Hamill agency in Houston, Texas.
Okay, Neil Hamill.
Yeah. So I learned from them.
Is a modeling agency specifically, or just kind of like all inclusive?
Yeah, no, it's a modeling agency. So I learned there when I was very young, and then I didn't really take it seriously because I wanted to go to school and because I had a lot of like tumultuous situations happening at home. So I just never really pursued it.
Right.
And after the age of 23, like I was an alcoholic and I got sober. So I didn't really think it was possible for me to model after the age of 23 because I know they stopped signing people to bigger.
Right. Like you said, it's like 18 to like 22 is like the sweet spot, I feel like. You know?
I mean, it's still possible at the age of 24, 25.
Yeah.
But it's less likely. So yeah, I just thought it was like over for me and I like decided to get really creative and I was, making a lot of art and I got a chest tattoo and I was like, you know what? I don't really need to like ever think about modeling again. And I like just pursued getting sober, building a life for myself. I got into tech and I was a database engineer and I got the job and I was having, this like moment in my life where I was like bored and like felt not creative anymore. And I was like, I want to just go do something new, try something else. And so my friend who's a designer was like, do you want to come do a shoot with me? So I did. And then he asked me if I wanted to model for his friend's show. So I did like the whole hobby modeling thing for like a couple years where I would just like model here and there. Like after that first show, I got invited to another show and another show and another show. So I realized that I had like something going for me here. So I just pursued it. I didn't really know what I was doing. And so I really like the idea of, I don't know, smaller scale designers creating their line, what inspired them to do it.
Exactly. And I feel like that's when they kind of have the most passion too.
Yeah.
Because it's like all the newest, like freshest, I don't know why I'm going to compare it to therapy. I had a therapist who was a student therapist who I didn't pay. Like it was like through the LGBT center. And I felt like she was the best therapist I've ever had because like they have to go back and report to their teacher like what we talked about. And blah, blah. They were like on their fucking game,
Yeah, like they were hungry.
Yeah, they were hungry for it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Wait, that's amazing though. Sorry, I want to segue into that. Anyways,
modeling is therapy.
Modeling is therapy. It's like or the opposite of therapy.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're doing.
And so now where are you with it? Are you still doing it as a passion or like I don't think like I'd say 17 designers is more than passion. That's like a full-time.
Yeah. So over time I found myself because I'm like, a bubbly, happy person and I had, a career on the side. I was like always really nice to people and always helping out. And like because of that, I built rapport with a bunch of different models and photographers and designers who would ask me to come back. And then after a while, they started models or anybody would just be like, hey, Jack, do you want to work in this show? They're going to pay you. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, money. Yeah.
Money, yeah. Immediately, yes. So I started doing more and more paid work. And then I started like actually having a rate as a model, like because people really wanted to test shoot with me all the time. They're like, hey, do you want to do test shoot? Let's do trade for print. Let's do it over and over and over again. And I was like, my time is getting like taken advantage of at this point, So
yeah,
whenever a random person was asked to do trade for print, I'd say, hey, I'm going to charge you X amount per hour. And I started working as an unsigned freelance model. So that's been like a side gig of mine for a long time now. And I work for a lot of paid shows and then some unpaid, of course, if I'm like interested. But yeah, I'm working more and more towards being seen as a prestigious model. And I try to make sure my time is actually utilized in the ways that I see helpful to my brand. And
Are you signed now, or are you still independent?
well, I just dropped a modeling agency that I was signed with for a while, but I wasn't getting any work through them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
they're just kind of taking the check.
there was no check. Like, there's a lot of like, this is the plight of a lot of signed models. Like, they'll get signed to an agency that they think is going to help them with their career, and then nothing happens, and they're not getting booked, and they're not getting asked by their agency to do anything. And then the agency says, oh, you need to do more trade for print. You need to like put your name out there.
Right.
And then you just get stuck in this like, limbo of like, I'm signed to you, so I can't get signed to bigger names, and you're not helping me get to those bigger names.
Right.
So I dropped that agency, and I recently signed a talent agreement, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay. I love that. Also, I don't know. I just want to say, so like when I was trying, okay, so I guess to share my story,
yeah, I'd love to hear.
I transitioned. I always wanted to do it, but by the time I transitioned, like you were saying, I was already 25, and like it just feels like that the models are always like so young, and so by the time I was done with my transition, I was like 28, and then of course the pandemic hit, so it's just like all fucking hell broke loose. So I couldn't go after my dreams, but I felt like I had like missed the time or the opportunity I would have had. And but then, okay, so I was filming a TV show that I can't talk about earlier this year, and they flew us through Barbados to get there to where they were filming it. And I did a stopover in Barbados on the way back, and I had said to my group of friends, I was like, hey, like, do you guys want to stop over in Barbados with me? I want to scuba dive while I'm there, and like let's just make this free stopover worth it. And none of them did, and so I ended up being in Barbados, like scuba diving by myself, which I thought was going to be great, and it was great. I'm glad I did it because I love scuba diving like a lot. But I didn't realize that Barbados like is very like anti-LGBT.
Oh no.
Because they're very like religious. So like I was literally like the first trans person like that any of these people had met, and I love solo traveling. Like I started doing that really last year a lot, like in Germany and like Berlin and stuff. Like I went to like I went to Berghain and the Kit Kat Club by myself, and I had literally had like the best time in the world. Because you can solo travel in Berlin so easily. Just get on an app, go meet people, go to a bar, just talk to anybody. But like Barbados was not like that at all. It was like all these honeymooners, and you're not gonna like talk to people on like their honeymoon.
Just like a lot of Republican
there's
housewives.
not just there's not like a going out young people vibe. The one good thing I got told was to go to the fish fry on like I don't know, I can't remember what day, like Tuesdays or whatever. I was like, why would I go to a fish fry
in Barbados?
And then it was actually fun. I ended up like almost getting picked up, and then the person was like, oh, are you trans? And then they got like really shy and freaked out, and they're like, oh, sorry, like I didn't know you were, and then blah blah blah. But then they still followed me, and then I think they sent me more messages. So I don't know. I think I'm like starting something in Barbados. I ignited something. But
I love that.
Anyway, I'm going like way off topic. But while I was in Barbados, I got in the cab on the way back from the fish fry back to my hotel, and the cab driver was like, why is your voice like that? And I'm like, I'm transgendered. And then he's like, well, what do you think about why are you trying to play women's sports? I was like, oh my God. Like, this is all.
No one cares. Like, leave me alone. I'm in Barbados.
I'm like, yeah, ask me about women's sports. Why don't you? I look like I'm definitely playing all the women's sports.
Yeah, you look like really rough,
But anyway, while he was very,
like a burly person,
like the most cringe things he could possibly say to me, he also said, you should model. And I said, no, I said, thank you, but I'm too old to model.
Wait, I'm sorry. Right after he like has all these opinions about trans sports, he's like, you should model. Like, that's so supportive, like just sprinkled in.
Yeah, well, I was dressed up really pretty. And so I was like, no, I'm too old. Like, I'm in my 30s, and in New York, it's like people in their 20s. And he's like, no, like, it doesn't matter. He says you should. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
And I had auditioned for Fashion Week before. And so when I got back, when I landed at JFK, I got a text for like this like model network that like teaches. It's like for newer models and also like helps connect new designers with new models, and it's pretty great. And I got a text from them that they're having auditions, and I was like, well, this guy did just tell me like 2 days ago that I should model. And so I ended up wearing the exact outfit to the audition that he had told me to model in. And then I met you at that audition.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was this year.
Oh my God.
And then you made me feel comfortable because I was like, oh, everyone here is younger than me. But then they like thought we were besties. We're like, I've been calling you my Kristen Wiig because you just like give her energy when we're together. You have this like silly creativeness, like you're like very improv-y, go with the flow type person, which I've been trying to get to, like that creative energy. And I don't know. So for me, I had like watched all these like how to model videos on YouTube and like how to walk, and like my first go around, I think I tried to wear too much less makeup, and I tried to like just follow everything they said just to be as plain as possible. And I didn't get anything. But then the second time around, after this guy had told me to go audition, I was like, look, I'm just gonna like have my spray tan, like do the makeup how I like to do my makeup, and be like hot tan blonde bombshell and
super hot.
And I like wore like a crop top, like to an audition, a black crop top, which you should be in all black, but like. And then I think the designers are like, oh, there's personality there. And then we got chosen together.
I think it also has to do with like your nervous system just feeling more relaxed, and you were
when you're yourself.
Yeah, like you were just being more authentic.
Yeah, you don't want to try to be someone else. And so I think that really helped. And so that's how I got into it. And then I just auditioned again this fashion week. I got the same text from the same network. Or no, I didn't. I lent someone a bike at Burning Man. Our friend Victor. And then,
shout out to Victor.
Yeah, he's an amazing designer, which I had no idea. I had just met him at Burning Man, and he was like, "Hey, thanks for the bike. Do you want to walk in my?" Or he said, "Do you want to come to my fashion show?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Wait, actually, you just want to walk in it?"
Yes.
And I was like, "Yes, please." And I didn't realize how talented he was, and he does avant-garde, like one of a kind pieces, like. Pretty much everything he does is one of a kind.
Yes.
It's not like there's like multiple sizes or anything. It's a custom made, but he can tailor it to all shapes and sizes. And that's what I really loved about Fashion Week this time around, is because like, you know, I'm in my mid 30s, and like for me to feel comfortable as a trans person, like I feel like the modeling industry has changed from what we used to watch on America's Next Top Model growing up to like, you know, size 0, everyone's skinny, like starve yourself, to like, we have all shapes and sizes. We have like non-binary people. I feel like, you know, my sizes have changed, and where before I might have like been like really hard on myself. Now I'm just like, oh, like, you know, like that's fine. Like I can just be how my body naturally is. And I really like where everything has come.
Yeah, I love the inclusivity that's been happening in the modeling world.
Yeah.
I also think like there's always been space for older models in the modeling industry. It just looked different back in the day. Like you see more older models on the runway, even for like high fashion brands, like
as there should be.
Yeah, like the Rick Owens show, there's like a model that
you shouldn't lose your job at a certain time and have to find a husband. My God.
Yeah, like for example, there's a
wife. Sorry.
No, it's fine. There's a model that was just in Paris Fashion Week, I believe, for Rick Owens show, that had like you know, like a different formation on their face, and they were like definitely like not your standard model, and they were revered for it, you know. And there's
like
models,
an imperfection or something, you mean?
Yeah, I mean like they had like they were born with like a different abnormality to their face,
right? And
they were styled in a way that made like them look like absolutely stunning, and it like added to the line, and it was so inspirational. And I just love seeing that inclusivity.
Uniqueness.
Yes, uniqueness is being more embraced. I also think definitely sizes are being more embraced when it comes to like body weight. But it's like weird, like how it's still like coveted in that you either have to be a lot bigger or a lot skinnier. You know, you can't just be like a normal sized human yet on the runway, and it's so annoying. You know,
I don't know. I think honestly, we have we live in an era we have the Victoria's Secret fashion show back, which thank God.
Thank God.
I really think they put the pin on all these changes. Well, this was a while ago already. We're still talking about it, but
we're going to talk about these iconic moments.
They had 2 trans models, I believe, and they also had Tyra come back in full form. She didn't like try to slim down or anything for the show. She's just herself now, and which shows that you can be older and different size now. And she was like, I don't know. I feel like people tried to cancel her for everything she said on the show back then.
Yes.
Also, I interned on the Fashion Police. That show also aired in the early 2000s and also got canceled because they said a lot of, things that don't fly anymore. And so with my first season of this podcast, my episode that got the most hate, which I haven't received that much hate, but my episode that got the most hate was I did a Fashion Police themed episode where we went on like the day after the Met Gala and like reviewed looks, but like, I just pretended to be Joan Rivers since like, that's a piece of my past and whatnot. But then I don't know, people thought we were being just too offensive when we were saying stuff about people. So I'm like, okay, that show was canceled for a reason. But anyway, so part of my season 2 is I want to listen to what these Gen Zers are saying and try to be a little more deep or have depth to me besides just everything's perfect and everything's funny.
Everything's funny and perfect at all times. Yeah. Nothing is happening. I'm fine. Leave me alone.
Which has been a lot of my background. Like just growing up in Texas as a trans person, I'm like, oh, I'm a boy. Everything's perfect. I'm fitting into this mold. And
you were the mold for a while there.
I couldn't get good at sports though, which is why I transitioned. But anyway.
That's why. Yeah. That'd be so funny if you said that to that cab driver.
Okay, so now getting this new part of the podcast, which I'm going to call something deep. So we're going deep. I want to say something deep. I don't know. I'm kind of throwing this at you. I didn't tell you about this before, but just...
That's okay. I knew you were going to be throwing curveballs at me. Ashley Ryan.
Yeah, so if you just have like something you want to share that's like maybe on a more deep level, it could be like an epiphany, a realization, something just tiny, minute that happened to you this week. And you're like, you know what? Maybe I this happened to me and I want to change this, or I reacted the wrong way, but my initial reaction was right. And so I'll go ahead and go first so you understand. Will you just say something deep? I guess for me, it happened actually this past weekend. I'm a stand-up comedian.
Love it.
I got an email to do a bringer show last minute. So like 2 days before, they're like, hey, like if you bring people to the show, we'll book you for the show. And I was like, I'm kind of to my like end on bringer shows, because the thing is with them, they kind of cost a lot of money. Like it's like, it ends up costing about $25 or $50 for each guest you have, because they have to pay for a ticket, and then they also have to get like 2 drinks and then tip the waiter. So it's like about $50, and then you get like 5 minutes. So like, if my friends are seeing me for an hour, like, yeah, that justifies $50, I think. But like, if they're seeing me for 5 minutes, do new material that I've never done before, it's hard to justify that. And when you take classes, they're like, don't waste all your friends on, the bringer shows. Cause like, back in the day, I had like 35 people one time come to one of my bringer shows in LA. That one actually did pay me though. So I was actually like,
yeah, that's good.
Like they should pay you, but the ones in New York, they don't like to do that. Anyway, so I got an email to do a bringer show, and I was with someone at the time, and I was like, hey, if I do this show, like I need a new tape to put out there. I was like, hey, if I do this show, will you come do it? And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll bring a date. I'm like, okay, great. I'll like sign up for it then. Got the show. Then 2 days later, he doesn't come to the show. He doesn't show up. And then they're like, where's your people? I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like something is going on with his son. Like he has to give them, he has shared custody and his wife's running late. I don't know what's going on. And they're like, well, like you can't walk, blah, blah, or you can't walk. No, you can't walk. You can't walk in this comedy.
You can't walk in this comedy show.
Yeah, but it was so awkward because I had like, I was in the green room. I was with all the other comics. We were like chatting, and I, obviously I spent a little bit of time getting ready for a tape. I wanted a new tape, which also, by the way, I was still going to have to pay for. Yeah, so I'm not getting paid. I'm having them make money. And then anyway, it was like really awkward. And they ended up not letting me go. I was the only one that didn't get to go. So I got booked for a comedy show and I didn't get to do comedy. And I just sat there and like had to watch everyone else. And then people were like, oh, you didn't go up, or I don't know. It was like,
Are you serious?
yes, I'm serious. And I felt bad because like I did invite more people than my one friend initially, but like it was, it was last minute and the gays are flaky as hell.
Yes.
But like, I don't know, like I ended up like, I like had apologized to them because I was like, oh, I'm sorry, my friend didn't come. Like I didn't want to like stand you up. It was a light show. Like they didn't have as many people there as they wanted to be there. So like I apologized for that. But like then when I got home, I like kind of felt bad. Well, I didn't go straight home. I went to an open mic and I talked about it.
Good.
And
feel your feelings.
When I went to the open mic and told people that happened to me, the comedians were pissed. They were like, I cannot believe that happened to you. Like, fuck that. Like, because I opened it, I was like, who here like Springer shows? And everyone's like, fuck that. And then I was like, okay. So it was a little bit of therapy. And then the comedian that came up after me, the host of the show, of the open mic, was like, I cannot believe, like, he's like, I want this to be a safe space. And like,
yeah,
I don't want to quote the Bible by any means on my podcast. I'm not religious, but like, like if someone that has nothing to offer shows up at your door, like let them in. Like,
yeah,
don't just be like, oh, sorry, I didn't make $25 off your ticket sales. Like
it's $25.
I still have value to offer to that person. And so I came home and then like, I did cry. Like I just felt bad. Like, cause like, I'm still trying to make it in this industry. And yeah. And then so I was kind of mad at myself. I was like, oh, I should have tried harder. I should have invited more people, blah, blah, blah. And then I called a guy friend of mine. He's like, why do you feel bad about it? He's like, by them not letting you up, the people you're trying to work with, they don't share the same values as you. So like, why are you like, you're not going to get famous from doing this like bringer show. Like, I know you're trying to like record video just so you can put more out and eventually get that fame and have tape. But like, he's like, these people don't have the same values of you. You just like need to not work with them anymore. Like, and go find places where you fit in. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. Like, I'm a burner. Like, we have something called radical inclusion, which means like, maybe someone necessarily you wouldn't want to hang out with, but they show up at your party, you include them, you don't turn them away.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, you're right. I shouldn't feel bad about this. And then I turned it around and ended up writing some comedy about it.
Perfect.
Because I guess the funny thing about this, well, it's not funny, but the person that turned me away and didn't let me perform was a transgender person.
So what? So wait, what? So like, why? It's just $25? You could have paid $25. Like, why are they being so weird?
So they were like the producer of the show, and they were just like trying to like make an example to the other comedians or play by the rules or whatever. Which, by the way, so also, to practice for this show, I had gone to this brand's open mics and paid money to perform and purchase. I spent like $30 last week to prepare for this show, so they're still getting money out of me. And
great.
Sometimes they like give away, like you can win a show where you don't have to bring people. And I remembered too that I won one and I never used it because I was going out of town. So like, this didn't hit me until later because I was too in the moment of trying to memorize my new set, and then I was embarrassed and shocked that I wasn't going up. So I like didn't know to like think to say that or like.
Yeah, no, I get it. You were emotional.
It was
overwhelmed.
Like post-traumatic stress. I don't know.
Yeah.
post-comedian stress disorder.
Post-comedian.
But yeah, this person was trans, and I was like, oh my God, like it's like girl code, but they them code. You're breaking they them code.
You're literally
like,
breaking they them code.
When something like when you're like you're supposed to look the other way, and then like hopefully in the future I'll look the other way and can help you out when you need help, right? And so I ended up writing comedy about it, and so I did have something, even though it was a bad experience and I cried a little bit, like something good came out of it. I wrote something really funny, and I'm not going to share the whole bit, But to sum it up, so
Oh my God, tell me.
there's been a lot of like anti-trans stuff happening right now, like, which was another reason I've been traveling a lot this year. Like, America is like not the best place to be for us. Like,
No.
it's like trans all day long on Fox News, like every day.
Yeah.
Like, what can we do to like slight trans people to take away their rights and whatever?
Right. How can we fuck with them just a little more today?
And I'm like, here's the thing. If you want to get rid of the trans community, the best way is to not do it through legislation. Don't try to get rid of our rights. Don't try to make it harder for us. The best way to get rid of trans people is to start the pettiest of arguments between any two trans girls, and they will go at each other's fucking throats, okay? Like, the LGBT community will implode within itself. Like, I don't know, like...
The mental health is already precarious. You just got to tip it.
When you start a petty argument between two trans girls, especially if it's online, like, it never ends. You always have to get the final word in. You know, it's like a whose dick is bigger on estrogen contest. Whose dick is bigger contest, but on estrogen. Yeah, right.
I love that.
And yeah, it's like we go right for each other's throats. It never ends. I feel like there's one more tag I was going to say, but come to the come see me in a show if you want to see it.
Come see Ashley Ryan in person.
I think that's what
comedy.
the tea is, because the trans community, like, the one thing we're better at than women's sports is killing ourselves. So like, don't kill us. We can do it to ourselves.
Don't kill us. We'll kill ourselves.
I know. So okay.
That's so sad.
I think that's where I'm taking it too far.
No, it's fine.
I need to put like a phone number to call if you're thinking about.
Yeah, maybe like call this phone number right here if you're thinking about it.
Yeah, but I think they got rid of that too now for LGBT people. The Trump I don't know, right? They got rid of the LGBT part of the.
They got rid of so many things that are so essential.
I know.
It's insane.
It's going to hit. I think it's going to hit like in 2 years when people are going to start turning. His supporters are going to start turning on Trump anyway. We don't need to say that name on here.
We don't have to talk about the Cheeto Man.
Yeah. Speaking of orange, it is fall. And now we're falling to your deep thought. Did you have any deep thought? You don't have to say anything if you... I don't want to put you on the spot.
It's okay.
You kind of already said your deep thought, by the way.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a deep thought.
Okay, go for it.
I am going to like censor parts of it.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay, so I went back home to Texas for my sister's engagement party this last week. And I have a very troubled past.
Okay.
Dun dun. And I was abused a lot as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's because I'm older or I'm more mature now, but
right.
I don't know. It's like unavoidable for me to like look at this person now and not see an abuser, and also see the person that I've been like holding up and like supporting and like checking in on and like seeing myself in my actions over the years. And I felt weird for like holding them up for so long and seeing that part of me, and like
right.
I don't know. It's a lot right now for me. Like, I haven't not really addressed this part of my life too much. I've kind of avoided it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like unavoidable.
Yeah, that's hard. There's like something like where you always want to, like, you always think it's your fault. And then you're like, why am I being like that? Why can't I just like stand up for myself and look them in the eye and be like, hi, you know, what you did is fucked up, or just say what you're like feeling. Like, I can all day, like, tell other people how to fix their lives, but like when it comes to me actually standing up for myself in a time that matters, where I feel like I'm in a position of like someone else has all the power in the room and I don't, like, it's like I fall short.
Yeah. And I was also like the only person in the family that still like reaches out to this family member.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've been there for this person for a long time, and now I just like don't want to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why nobody is there for this person. Like, I don't know. It's like,
yeah, it's like you have to like learn the hard way.
I want to like not like tip all the way into just like hating them, because I don't want to like carry the weight of hating someone. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. No.
Yeah.
Hate takes
up
way
space.
more energy than it does like not even like being bothered, you know? Like,
yeah, like there's like this man told a story about this like monk that was on the side of a river, right? And
a monk.
Yes.
Okay.
And there was a man in a tuxedo, and this man in the tuxedo needed to cross the river, and he was like, hey, can you put me on your shoulders so that you can carry me across the river? And like this monk guy was like, okay, yeah, sure, like whatever. the water wasn't that deep. So he put him like on his shoulders and like walked across the river to the other side and dropped this guy in a tuxedo off. And the guy doesn't even say thank you, doesn't even look at him, and like runs like off. And then the monk like goes across the river and goes in, hangs out with his other monk homies. And this other monk was like, why did you, that guy didn't even say sorry to you, like, or like thank you or anything.
Right.
He didn't even like turn just to give gratitude at all. Like, why aren't you upset about this? And the monk said to him, like, I'm no longer carrying that man, you are now. And that really hit me when my friend told me that story, because like, I don't want to carry my abuser in my head all the time. Like, forgiveness doesn't mean like what they did was okay, but like
it means that you can move on.
Exactly. So
yeah, not them.
I'm separating mentally from that person and like not, you know, taking on the responsibility of checking in on them anymore. And like, I'm like trying to like gain a sense of self that's more uniformed, rather than like this part of me that's like there for them, this part of me that's hurt. Like, I'm trying to like meld them together now. And it's been really intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my deep thought from this one.
Yeah. Oh my God. We You know, I think we've accomplished it all. We said we were going to go deep, and we, you know, mentioned suicide and abuse. Or mine was more of a joke. Anyway, so we've done that. We're the funny police. We've done everything from fashion to the farthest things away from that, and Burning Man.
Lassos.
But now we're to that fun part of the podcast. So this is called the Funny Police, and there is a format to it where we decide whether we think fashion, getting into fashion, becoming a runway model is funny.
What?
Yeah, so you just say if it is or if it isn't. And yeah, it usually always is, but this is the format. So we're gonna say that runway modeling is funny because for the first time we got to model for our friend. And I wanted to do just a quick legal disclaimer. Like, I'm a comedian. Everything we say on this podcast is a parody. We are not serious about any story or anything that we say. With that said, our friend who we walked in his show together just recently, he got me to have the best, most creative in-body runway experience I've ever had. And he did that by giving me, among other people, shrooms before we walked.
Wait, we're really talking about this?
Yes. And like, what's the one thing you don't want to do before going on the runway, which is like be high as fuck, because you don't want to trip, especially when you're wearing $10,000 heels that only Gaga has besides you.
Yeah.
They're custom AI printed or whatever they were. And I was so high, and then the designer was so high. Like, everything was so chaotic backstage. Like, when we were about to go out, like, they didn't know where everyone was. We were all in the wrong order. He hadn't even given us an order to begin with. And it was the most chaotic backstage scene I've ever witnessed. And to the point where, like, he was sending multiple people out on the runway. Like, there'd be like 3 or 4 people out at one time walking the runway. And then other times it would just be one singular model on the runway. So it'd be like really busy times where people are just like standing there, like chilling, and then would walk when someone else finished. And then when I walked, it was literally just me by myself, no one else. I was like, it was so fun, but I like, honestly, like, I get so nervous and I have so much anxiety. Like, I get so in my head about it. But because of that experience, it was like the first time that I just like felt like myself. It was an in-body experience. It was like, oh, I feel like being creative. Oh, also, he was 60 seconds before I walk out. Like, you know your poses you're doing ahead of time. Like, at least like, you know, like 2 minutes before you like practice in your head what poses you're going to do at the end of the runway. 60 seconds before, he's like, here's a bag and also a perfume, and you're going to do a perfume performance at the end of the runway, and you have to make sure to get it to all 3 cameras. They're all different directions. I'm like, whose perfume is this? What is this? It turns out the perfume name was Cunt by the Queen of Melrose, who I didn't know whose it was until after, which I love the Queen of Melrose. I know who she is, or I don't even know what they go by. It's Cosmo.
Yes.
Yeah, I love you, Cosmo.
Love you, Cosmo.
I used to live right by their store on like 2 blocks away walking distance. So I know who they are before they got famous during the pandemic.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I love that. I got to model for their perfume Cunt. And it went really well despite it being just thrown at me. I'm so happy that all that happened. And I guess mushrooms are magical.
They are magic.
Yeah,
I love Victor's style. It's really hard for a model to not feel in their element when they're working with him. He runs strictly off of vibes.
Yeah.
I remember in my second show with him, he brought me to New York Fashion Week for my first time. And he had me second to last in the lineup. And literally, he's just like at the end of the runway, right? He's like all the way on the other end in this chapel. And I'm wearing this beautiful like tri-piece black heat formed leather dress with a crown, and it's like very like dark feminine inside this cathedral. I turn and I pose, and then he says to me down the aisle, he's like, I'm like, what? He's like, dance. I was like, okay. And so I just start doing dance movements because he knows that I know how to like dance a little bit. And
yeah,
it was just so out of nowhere, but it was literally my favorite walk I've ever done.
Yeah, I love your walking too. That's also something I feel like I didn't get to see your walk on the runway until after when I watched the videos, and I was like, wait, like other models were doing that. I knew we had some people voguing and stuff, but you had like this funny, you had this really cool hat that was like a really big brimmed hat, but then the cool part of it was that the top of the hat was a face. It was like a mask. And I saw Victor wearing this at Burning Man, and I was just like, oh, that's really cool. But then he brought it from Burning Man to be in the show. And then you were doing all sorts of like crazy movements and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, this is what like Fashion Week isn't doing what other people want you to do or tell you to do. It's doing what you're wearing their clothes, but then you're also they chose you, so you're there to be yourself. Yeah,
I've been one of Victor's muses for like many years now, and I love walking for him. He's amazing. I would die for him.
Just like don't second guess yourself. Just do whatever creative thing comes to your mind.
Well, I normally try to embody like a 90s runway model and like be as theatrical as possible if I'm in a theatrical outfit for Victor. But for other designers, I walk like a robot, you know, I just do what I'm told. And some people want me to be more expressive, like Victor, House of Puglielli. It's just like, I love working with him. He's amazing.
I love it. Me too. Also, so what's your answer? Is Fashion Week funny? What do you think?
I think Fashion Week is like similarly, like it's like a dick comparison competition between all the different productions. They're like literally booking on top of each other. There's like the same show, like 2 shows will be happening at the same time.
Oh, and it's like, which famous people were going to steal from each other.
Yeah, exactly. So they're just like competing for attention rather than working together. And I think it causes a lot of like models to have to pick and choose who they're going to work with in the future. And it's kind of annoying that way for us.
Wow.
But yeah, I think it's funny, for sure, funny, and also very inspiring. Like I love Fashion Week. It's so much fun.
It sounds cutthroat if you're a designer. Wow.
Yeah, if you're a production company, if you're trying to create a Fashion Week show that's like on Fashion Week online and like, you know, renowned and like actually on the recommended schedule, it's like it's cutthroat.
Yeah, you know what, I met a designer for Off-White, and their runway was like at like a school, like a basketball court that was like painted I don't know if they painted it pastel pink or something. It was like a crazy outdoor like city or rooftop like basketball court, and I was just like, I like the productions that are more like, doesn't have to be as high end, it can just be kind of more fun and like out of public school. Like
right.
I
think one of my favorite shows I walked in this season was for Twink by Twink.
Wait, Twink?
Yeah, that's his name. I know
it sounds like a gay men's brand, is it not?
Yeah, it's a gay man's brand.
Okay.
And he does a lot of like upcycled fashion where he like melts like Hustler magazine bags together into like these crazy like witch hats. And like I was wearing this like polka dot plastic heat formed like vest thing with like a horn on it. and it was inside Dallas Barbecue.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've definitely seen that photo of you. Yeah.
It was crazy. It was so much fun. There was so many people there and so much media and press, and I was not expecting that. Like when he asked me, well, I found the like casting through a person that posted on a random page, and when I like met up with him, I was like, all right, this will be cool. Like I love how creative he is. Whatever, it's not gonna be that big a deal. Like, and then it was the biggest deal ever. It was popping, and we were walking to Lady Gaga, and it was amazing.
Yes,
I know.
Love what Gaga song.
I walked to Bad Romance.
That's what I was thinking in my head when you said that. I read your mind.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I literally just like lip synced down the runway. He was like, just be yourself, do whatever you want. So I was like, I don't want to be friends.
Oh my God. I feel like that's like, honestly, any of our listeners that have like practiced runway walking in their rooms, I feel like that is one that just every LGBT person in general has
walked to practice.
Yeah, practice to. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, cool. Well,
yeah, that was amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for coming on my show. Again, this is Jack Mayer. Do you have any plugs?
Sure. My personal content creation creative page is at With Love from Jack on Instagram and TikTok.
All right, perfect. Then again, I'm Ashley Ryan. You can follow me, Ashley Ryan TV, on all platforms. Also, Funny Police Podcast has an Instagram page, just The Funny Police. Anyway, thank you so much again for listening. And remember to subscribe and like us because we're the best. All right.